What's up, you guys? I'm Ted, the Tall Techie, and today's video is going to be a little bit different. This is not going to be a normal tech review like the rest of the videos on the channel. This is actually the start of a new series called Vantage Point. So in this series, we're going to talk about all the new up-and-coming tech, some of the stuff that's already out and some of the stuff that's not out yet. And let me know what you'd like me to review and what you'd like to see forward in Vantage Point. So where's the best place to start? When deciding on a monitor to buy, there's a lot of different factors that go into it. The three factors that I think are the most important when you're starting to look for a monitor are: one, evaluating your current hardware's capabilities. So whether or not your graphics card is AMD or NVIDIA, and obviously what the power potential is behind the hardware. The second is going to be the budget. That's very, very daunting to a lot of different people, and computer monitors, especially high-end ones, can be extremely expensive. But to get all the things you need out of a monitor, you don't necessarily have to get the most high-end monitor. The third thing to think about is, what are your needs? So you don't necessarily need a monitor that covers the full entire RGB spectrum if you're not a content creator or you're not doing YouTube videos or art on your computer. You don't necessarily need a 4K or HDR monitor if you have a GTX 660 graphics card. And if you don't want two monitors, then you don't need two monitors unless you're going to do coding or Twitch streaming or anything like that. So I think that the monitors that are coming up that are the most impressive, or at least the most worth talking about in this series, the number one is going to be the Asus PG27UQ. It's probably going to be one of the best monitors that has been created thus far, because it's going to be 4K, it's going to have 144 Hz refresh rate, and it's going to have G-Sync. So pretty much everything you've ever wanted in a monitor is going to be in this monitor. The only thing to think about is obviously that the price is probably going to be really high. The price point is probably going to be somewhere in the $2,000 range, but we don't have any confirmation on that, and it's not really worth speculating on at this point because we don't have the information yet. The monitor probably is going to come out sometime in the third to fourth quarter. I believe that the company that makes the panel for the monitor is said that the panel will be out in the third quarter of 2017. So a lot of people are speculating sometime in the July to August range, but again, we don't know. This monitor is going to be incredible though. It's going to have HDR, and it's one of the first monitors that has HDR10, which means its effective brightness is actually going to be about 3 times the normal monitor. So you'll get that full 10-bit color range. It's going to be great for product creation. It's going to be incredible for gaming. And if you can get your hands on 2 of them, I think that if that's what you're looking for, it's probably going to be the best monitor. So the next 2 monitors that we're going to talk about are going to be your VA ultrawide monitors for gaming. So these 2 are great if you have G-Sync or if you have an NVIDIA graphics card, especially one that can handle the 3440 by 1440 aspect ratio, and a monitor that's capable of doing basically 4K gaming. So I would say pretty much you're going to want at least a 1070 or above, a GTX 1070, GTX 1080, or 1080 Ti, or obviously any of those combinations. And SLI is going to be able to push these pixels on these monitors to get your 100 Hz refresh rate. So on the HP Omen X35, there's been a lot of really, really big hype around it, but there's also been a lot of disadvantages that have come later with the monitor post people buying them. There's been some screen tearing and screen flickering that has made for some widely controversial remarks about the monitor. HP has said that they're going to do a bunch of stuff via firmware updates and software updates to fix it, but as of right now, you might want to hold off on buying the monitor. The other monitor that we're going to talk about actually has the same panel. It's the same 100 Hz G-Sync refresh rates, 4440, and it's actually $400 cheaper than the HP Omen. So the HP Omen is going to be $1299, and the AOC AG352UCG is going to be $899. So there's obviously a big price difference. I think if you want something that looks more professional, not super gamery, but also extremely clean and minimalistic, the HP Omen definitely has a better look to it. The AOC, to me personally, just kind of looks really ugly. I kind of hate the really silvery sheen on the bottom of the panel and base, but that's just me. A lot of people have really not liked either of them just due to the issues that they've had with the panel thus far, but the VA panel is going to be a lot better for black levels than an IPS panel, like on some of the older 34-inch ultrawides, like the Acer X34 Predator or the Asus PG27UQ. Those are both going to be great panels still to buy, and we're going to talk about those later in the video. I would not buy these ultra-wide monitors if you're looking to get them for a Mac or if you're using FreeSync, because you won't really be able to capitalize on what the monitor can do. The third monitor that we're going to talk about is the LG 38UC99. I think that this is actually one of the most exciting monitors that's on the market right now, and they're actually making a 34-inch version of it as well. So it's going to be awesome because it's 4K. It is really expensive. It's $14.99, so it's a lot of money, but if you are into doing product creation, if you're into making videos, if you're into doing any sort of art on your computer, this monitor is incredible. It is massive, it's gigantic. It's a full 38 inches with 4K resolution, so that's gonna be 3840 by 1600 as far as the pixel density. It's got a 75 hertz refresh rate, and it's got the whole RGB spectrum as far as color representation. It has Thunderbolt 3, so it can charge your devices, and it obviously works extremely well for you MacBook users out there. There's a ton of benefits to the monitor, and if you have an AMD card or a MacBook and you can afford the $1,500, then I think that this is probably the best monitor that you can buy, and it's super exciting. The other side to that coin, which is slightly less expensive, is the Acer XR38UQ. XR38UQ. And it's gonna come in at $12.99. It has the same pixel density, so it's gonna be 3840 by 1600, and it's gonna have adaptive sync, so it's also functionally FreeSync. It also has 75 hertz, and it's also the same 38 inches. So it's kind of whether or not you like the LG panel or the Acer panel better. I actually do think that the LG monitor looks slightly better, other than the fact that the back of it is white, which is really annoying. I don't know why they do that. If it matched the rest of the monitor, I think it would be much more beneficial. So the next big question is, can you wait? 2017 is obviously a really big year for monitors, and there's a ton of new exciting tech that's coming out in the next few months or has already come out, some of which we've already talked about, like the Omen X35 or the Acer XR34CQK. But if you want an ultra-wide, ultra-wides are amazing. And if you haven't experienced the 21:9 aspect ratio yet, you haven't really lived. I think mainly the monitor market is shifting towards going with ultra-wides. I think that there's a reason why a lot more gaming companies are going into having 21:9 support. Waiting is really, really hard, especially for people that love tech. But sometimes it's just better to wait, and new things are always coming down the pipeline. There's always more new exciting tech that just hasn't come out, and tons of things that have come out or have been revealed already at CES. Some of that stuff has hit the market already, and a lot of it hasn't. So if you can wait, it's always better to wait on something that's new and better, if you don't need to purchase something right now. Thank you guys so much for your support, and let me know if this video was helpful, what tech you'd like to see reviewed later, and hopefully we'll have this series happen at least once a month. If you don't mind hitting that subscribe button and like button, I would be super appreciative, and I hope you guys have an awesome day. Thanks so much.